Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Jay and TK on the line. We're the Counterculture Media, and we are super excited to do this next Counterculture Convo because we got a good topic for y'all in store. Is the topic of marriage. Okay, the topic of marriage. Like what? Because TK, I don't know if you know this, but he got married in March, right?
I did, man. It's been an exciting season. I'm excited for this topic because I got a lot of things to say, So, yeah, man, this would be good. Be good for us to talk it through as married men, and also good for the people watching. We don't see too many young people married in this generation, so I think it'll be beneficial.
Yeah, and I think because all the glory goes to God. This is not about us, but we want to be an example. I don't know. You see the ring. Show the ring. You got the ring on? Yes, sir. Flash it. But we want to be examples on how to, the culture marriage is I think the divorce rate is probably 50%, probably more than that. I don't know. It's really bad. And marriage, I think everybody's affected by marriage in the sense of a good marriage or a bad marriage. I think everybody can think of an example of, man, yeah, these people are married that they probably shouldn't be. These people got divorced, 5 times, and marriage is a very touchy subject that affects everyone. So we want to be the example of countering what the culture is presenting right now of what marriage looks like. And we want to remind y'all, hey, if you follow God and you make God the foundation of your marriage, you will succeed and you will, flourish. And that's the whole point of how God designed it. So we have a few questions in stock right now. We got a few questions on the queue that we're going to talk about. And what's cool is that since TK just got married, right? 2022.
Yeah,
I got married in 2020, and we're going to talk more about that. But we want to tackle these questions from 2 perspectives, right? We're both around the same age. I'm 25, you're 24, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, we have the same life experience in that sense, but marriage is it's a very specific, machine, right?
It's a personal experience for everybody.
Right. Sure. Yeah. So we're going to look at it from 2 different perspectives, a kind of a fresh perspective versus a still new, because 2 years, that's still new. We were just talking about it, but it is a different, we do have some seasons that we've already gone through.
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to start it off with, and we kind of spoiled it already, but when did you get married? When did you get married? I'm going to let you start it off, TK, because you're fresh on that one.
Man, I got married on March 12th, 2022, just this year. It was an exciting time because around that same time, just December, I graduated college. Me and her both graduated college together. And then we also moved cities and, we both started our careers around that same time. So it was a stressful time, but a good time.
Yeah. Man, that's awesome, dude. Now we've been, I know our friends and family and your friends and family have been following that. It all lined up, and it's so cool to see where you're at right now. So that's super cool. I got married. Me and Carly got married April 18th, 2020. And that date 2020 is a big one because that's when COVID hit. And I think we talked about it before, but when we were going to get married is when they kind of hit the restrictions of, oh no, people can't gather, 10 people max, that kind of a deal. And so we ended up we had this big wedding planned out, and we had to condense it and have a backyard wedding. And it was so cool though, because it was beautiful. It was intimate, and it really helped focus not on the wedding, but on what marriage is, and get to focus on the intimacy, the covenant between God. And so, but we did end up having a big reception pushed to July of 2020, but still COVID was a thing. And so we didn't, it wasn't the biggest wedding, but we did get to have that experience, that fun, for the bride, right? It's weddings aren't really about the guy, groom.
Not at all.
It's not our day.
I had to learn very quickly to just go ahead and get out the way.
You learned to do this a lot right here. Yes.
Let mom-in-law and my mom, my wife, let them do their thing. And I'll stand over here. Hey, I was saying this was my slogan. The whole wedding planning process was, hey, just tell me where to stand. Hey, just tell me where to stand.
It's so true.
It doesn't matter. Just tell me where to stand.
Yeah, don't let me mess this up. I want to do my part, and I'm here. So guys, by the way, Just expect that. Okay. So there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it that I know of, but it's just, that's part of it. So,
Yeah.
but anyways, that's super cool. So the next question is, how did you and your spouse meet? So I'm gonna let you start on that one.
Okay. Yeah. So me and my spouse, we met actually years ago before we even started dating. Our freshman year of college, BSU, Black Student Union.
Sweet.
So, man, it's kind of crazy because as soon as I seen her, I haven't even introduced myself yet. As soon as she walked into that meeting, I just knew. I knew there was something about her. Just the way she dressed, the way she came in with a smile, And so throughout the meeting, she was making great commentary and asking insightful questions. And I was like, oh yeah. And so I got to shoot my shot.
Oh yeah.
So I shot my shot and I got denied the first time.
Yeah.
I still got the Snapchat and social media and things like that. So we stayed in contact and seen each other at the meetings and around campus. And a few years later, I spun around and I was just in that season where I was looking to settle down for, with a Proverbs, with a queen, somebody that'll add value to me as a man. And I remember going through Snapchat, and then she had posted just a selfie, just a simple selfie of her just smiling. And I remember praying for specific things that I wanted out of a spouse. And I looked at that selfie and it all just hit me like, wow, she checks off every single one. And so I shot my shot again and I made it. And now we're here.
Switch. Set the hook. Yeah.
Now we're here. So,
Amen. Dude, that's so cool. So our story, man, it is weird, man. You just know there's something about them. It just sticks with you. It's kind of weird. I don't know. Like, we haven't done this many times, right? Because this is our first marriages, and we'll be the only marriages. But there's something about it, though. You just kind of know. It's you don't want to like be away from them. Like, you're okay with spending all your time with them, and it's like that's one of the big things that you realize. So for me, I met Carly through a coworker. So a coworker that I was friends with introduced me to a girl that she knew that was like, yeah, she's single, it's whatever. Cause I was kind of in that same season of like, man, it was kind of a weird season. Cause I kind of fell off a little bit as far as relationships. And I was like, I was at that age and, I think I was 19 and I was like, man, I want to go on dates with people, but no, that did not feel right. I didn't like it. And so I was like, no, I want to settle down. I don't want to keep doing this. So she introduced me to Carly through Snapchat. I remember, I think we still have saved the first message between each other. And it just went from there, man. I think we went out I met her at that friend's house. So we all kind of got together. It was a double date actually. Cause she, my coworker was dating somebody that I knew. And so we all got together. And that first night, man, I walked into the house and I just see her smiling, dude. There's something about her smile. And that I'll tell her to this day, that's one of my favorite things about her is her smile and big cheeks. And and so she stood up and we were like, it was like the perfect height. Cause she wasn't like short and stuff, but she was just like right there. I was like, yes, sweet. And yeah, we it was kind of cool. There was a tornado warning that night or watch. And so it was cool first. I think she'll tell us about her story with us, but I prayed that night for all of us. And that really kind of stole her heart. And it also just, I kind of set the tone. I was able to set the tone of like, hey, I'm a believer. Like, this is how we walk. And she grasped onto that. And so that was a big piece of her knowing that I was the one, but she'll tell that story. And, but yeah, we started dating, man, and we dated for a long time. So we started dating in 2016, got married in 2020. So that's 4 years of dating, which that, once you're in your 20s, that's kind of serious. Like, it should be serious. Yeah. And so that's how we met, man. We met through friends. So your friends can lead you in a good direction. You just got to be wise.
Absolutely.
For sure. All right. So here's the next question. So since this is about marriage and we want to get it off on the right foot, the next question is, did you do premarital counseling? Okay. And if so, how did that better prepare you for marriage? So by the way, premarital counseling is literally in the word pre, so before marriage counseling, you get you two together with somebody else that kind of counsels you through what marriage is like so that you are better prepared. So did you do that? Did y'all do that?
Man, I have to say, we did not do that.
Okay.
We had a lot of conversations with my parents. My dad's a pastor. They do premarital counseling, so maybe informally, in a way.
But, like indirectly. Y'all got the counselor. Yeah.
And then
Sure.
we've had many conversations with her parents, who are successfully married. They've been married for years. They're a very successful couple. So maybe indirectly, we took the time to have those tough conversations and seek wisdom, but we didn't get a chance to officially sit down. Yeah. And that's something, even though we've been married for a few months, that is something we still plan on doing, because we do see importance in premarital counseling.
Right.
Even though we're married, it would be premarital, but we're still fresh in our marriage, still in the honeymoon stage. So that's something we're definitely planning on doing.
For sure. Sweet. So we ended up doing premarital counseling through the pastor that married us, which is Big Mike Cummings. He married us, and so he actually wouldn't marry us unless we did the premarital counseling. So that helped. We got in there, and we kind of went through a booklet, and we met, I think for a few weeks in a row, and just that helped so much in the sense of I had a view of marriage, Carly had a view of marriage, and it was not the view of marriage. Like, it wasn't, what marriage actually is. So doing that allowed us to really set the stage, really understand, hey, what are we getting ourselves into? This is deeper than what we think. It's not just a contract. It's a covenant, it's commitment. It's whether you like them or don't like them, you got to stick with them, it's that kind of a deal. And really how God designed marriage. Cause you see it, it's kind of hard to put the whole Bible into one, picture real quickly. And so it helped to go through that and see, hey, what's the big picture? And so that was good. So so counsel. So we can both agree getting wise counsel from other people about marriage is very beneficial to starting your marriage. I guess we can.
Oh, definitely. Because I love what you said. How you said Carly had one view of marriage, you had another view of marriage, but it wasn't it wasn't the view. And so people have differing perspectives when it comes to a life event that's so big. Marriage is huge.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely important to get on the same page going into the marriage. And even though we didn't have that official counseling, that's something that we were definitely very intentional about before we married, was getting on the same page, making sure we understood what was happening before us.
Yeah, right on, man. Right on. Kind of going off of what you just said, the next question is, how is having God as the foundation of your marriage important?
Dude, I wish you had more time.
Yeah, I know, right?
I wish you had more time.
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
Dude, marriage, and I heard this from Mike Todd. If you know who Mike Mike Todd,
right?
He's a famous pastor, blew up over COVID times. Him and his wife said, "Marriage is death." Marriage is death. Yeah, and that catches people off guard. Like, what? Marriage is death? But marriage is death. It's death to yourself. Like you have to cast aside your ego, in order to have a God-centered marriage, man. So the way I think of it, I always think of this scripture is that the man's supposed to love the wife like Christ loves the church.
Yeah, lay himself down for her.
Lay himself down. So when I think about that, and I think of things that that may have me upset, or I may not want to forgive so easily, or let go of some things so easily. Yeah. Man, I gotta love her like Christ loves the church.
Yeah.
What would Christ do in that situation? You know what I'm saying? He would forgive us. He would still reach out, love us. He would still make the effort to stay close and be that sense of peace in our lives. So just like Christ provides for us, I have to provide that for my wife. Yeah. And so that's kind of the thing that I meditate on.
Yeah, which is beautiful that God gave us the example And it's kind of, it is symbolic. Marriage here on earth is symbolic of the future to come kingdom of Christ and the church, you know, and that marriage. And so it's so cool, guys. So cool. So for me, yeah, the kind of to piggyback off of what you're saying is that I think of the diagram. You've probably seen the triangle. Okay. Illuminati confirmed. No, the triangle of of God at the top. God's at the top of the triangle, and then you and your spouse, you and your wife are at the bottom on different points. And so when you start, if you're not close to God at the top, you're you know, you and your spouse are apart. You know, like y'all are distance, and the closer you two both grow to God, then the closer you two, you know, grow together. And I think that's a great illustration, because like what you were saying is us, we have to understand our us as husbands, we got to lay our lives down, and it's death. And it is the same for the wife, but they have kind of different battles though. They have different spiritual battles. And so if we're able to individually follow God with all of our lives and lay down pick up our cross and really become like Jesus, both of us, then we grow together. And that's really why God being the foundation, well, you can build your house up and it'll be strong to the end. When things beat against the house, it's kind of like in scripture, you know, following the words of Jesus is like building a house on either sand or rock. Which one are you going to choose?
Yeah, because the closer you grow to God, the easier it is for you to cast aside your ego.
Yeah.
Easier it is for you to forgive. Easier for you to love in general. That's what God is. God is love. So
for sure.
Yeah,
that's right, man.
I like that diagram, man. The closer y'all get to God, the closer you two become.
Get together. Yep. Yeah. Dude, amen. All right, man. So we got 3 questions, lightning round. Okay. So the first one, and this is kind of condensed, we'll talk about this more in the next video, but what is the number 1 key to success that you've experienced in your marriage? Go. What's the number 1 key?
We just talked about it, man. Keeping God in the center.
Man, big.
Keeping ourselves out of it.
Yeah. Dude, same for us. So like for me, I think of self-awareness, man. Self-awareness. So being aware of when you're prideful, being aware of when you're, you know, doing things hypocritically, when you're, you know, this and that, being aware of yourself, and then communicating that and being open with your spouse that, hey, I messed up there, you know. And so, and that leads into some other things like forgiveness and things, but being, you got to be aware first, because some people are blind to that. But okay, so number 1 struggle that you've experienced. Number one struggle that I've experienced personally is getting used to being vulnerable and communicating my feelings. Like when I feel hurt, when I genuinely feel hurt, that's tough for me to just communicate. Yeah, dude, for sure. Because us men, we have the expectation of, and the world set this expectation of being the big macho man that you can't show your feelings, can't cry, can't be lovey-dovey romantic, you know, with your spouse. But that's not true. That's not what biblical manliness is. That's kind of the world's definition. So that's big, dude. That is big. For me, it's a mixture of communication and pride. I think my pride doesn't allow me to communicate well, but communicating in the sense of allowing Carly to know, you know, what I mean, and not expecting her to know what I mean all the time, right? Or not expecting her to think the way I think, because we think differently. And that's something you got to realize, being self-aware. And so, but there's a lot of other struggles. This is not, you know, there's a lot of other things we can talk about because we're not perfect. But the last thing we're going to end on here is a quick insight for other people out there, quick insight of what they, you know, how to make their marriage better.
Quick insight on how to make your marriage better. Talk about the hard things first is what is one thing I would say.
Sure.
A lot of marriages fall short to some of the same things, finances, ambition, goals, the way your philosophy on raising children, all those hard conversations. Make sure to have those first. Hash those out and make sure you kind of like how you talked about with the marriage counseling, make sure y'all are on the same page before going into the marriage.
For sure.
And make a game plan before going into the marriage.
Yeah, right.
That was one thing that was monumental for us. So,
man, dude, that's big, dude. That's awesome. My insight is what's big that I've noticed is you got to invest in your marriage. So you really need to, and what I mean by invest, I don't mean in just like throw all your money into it, which that's a part of it. but investing your time, investing your care, investing your, just being present and trying to improve your marriage at all, like all the time. So like there can be a season where you just like aren't focused on your marriage, and then you start seeing y'all's relationship, y'all are growing apart, and you don't want to let that happen. You got to maintain. It's kind of like keeping up a garden. You want to maintain what's growing in it, and make sure that's producing fruit. And you got to make sure you got to keep out the bad things and all. Really maintain it. So invest in your marriage, and really, and also remember, and this is from a biblical perspective, okay? Because I think Paul talks about it, gives the advice to Timothy, is that your household and your marriage is the first ministry. Like if you're not taking care of your household and providing and loving them, then you failed. Like you're not living as a Christian like you should. You're not following Christ, and so your first ministry is your marriage. Okay. And that actually takes, I've been told this, and I think it's in scripture as well, but like even over your kids, like you need to, like your marriage is y'all become one. Okay. Yeah. You and your kids aren't one. You and your wife, y'all are one. And so that means y'all are one unit, and you got to take that serious, no matter who, other family, other friends, your kids, that's your main priority is your marriage. And so, invest in it for sure.
I think it's good that you say that, man. It's God, marriage, and then everything else.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Priority. So if your marriage is not working as a man, nothing is working. That's why it's important to also have, going back to what I was saying, it's important to have those conversations before going into the marriage to make sure that y'all's goals, ambitions, lifestyle choices, the way you want to do things, make sure that all align, make sure it aligns. Make sure y'all can get on the same page and be able to make compromises, because your marriage is death. It's death to you. Like y'all, sure. It is no longer you. It is y'all. Y'all
right.
So
straight up.
Definitely.
Man, that's so big, dude. We hope that this video has been very valuable to you, and we hope that if you're a guy, this is kind of from the guy's perspective. I don't know if you realize that it's us guys talking. So this is promoted to the guys. But I mean, anybody can, find value in this, even the ladies and the wives. Like you can see, hey, this is what men think. This is how what the men need to work on, and what, this and that. So we hope that this video is valuable to you. And y'all didn't know this, but this is just part one. This is just a part one video. Because why? We're going to have the ladies on next, right? We're going to have the ladies with us on the next Counterculture Convo. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Okay. We're going to get the ladies on here, and we may talk about the same questions, get their perspectives and their views. And what were you saying about Kennedy, TK? What were you saying about her?
I was saying, tune in for that, y'all, because she's going to have a lot to say. I'm sure Carly's going to have a lot to say, man. These are some strong, wise women.
Yeah. When you say Proverbs 31 woman, right? They're worthy of praise.
Absolutely.
These ladies.
Absolutely. So they're going to get on here and they're going to talk their talk.
It's going to be their show. It's going to be their show.
They may hop on our case a little bit. I'm a little scared. Nah, it'll be good though. It'll be good.
For sure. So that'll be the next Counterculture Convo. We'll have the wives, the ladies on, and we'll talk about marriage again. We're going to talk about it even deeper, because this was just kind of at the surface, not too deep, but we wanted to give y'all a little glimpse of, hey, like we care about marriage. If you follow God, if you follow Christ, you have to care about marriage. And and which is why this is a counterculture convo. It's against the culture, this topic. So now we love you guys. Y'all keep supporting, and remember that this channel's here to help you counter the culture through our music, media, and messages, and centered around following Christ. So we are excited to get the next video out. And dude, I don't know if I should tell them. Should I tell them that we have something in store?
Yes, I was literally going to tell them. First of all, put the pressure on us too, but guys, be looking out for not just video content, but music content. We have some stuff coming for y'all. It's gonna be dope. I'm telling you, y'all like our old music. This stuff is a whole new sound. We're on a different level, different phases. So I'm excited for the music, man. It'll be good.
It's on the way. Like, when I say soon, I mean, it's like, it's ready. So we're gonna throw it at you. And so be on the lookout for that. Okay. Then we're gonna have more promotion on that, but just a little sneak peek, a little, snippet of information. So anyways, guys, y'all be good. Remember, what are y'all doing to counter the culture? Okay. Join us, follow us on social media, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on TikTok, and just stick with the movement, y'all. You are a part of this. Okay. If you're countering the culture for Christ, man, you're with us. Like we're all together. So anyways, any last words, TK? You want to spit at the people?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
All righty. Cool. All right. Hey, thank y'all for watching to the end of this video. Thank you so much. And we love you guys. God bless. Peace. All right, cool. So I'm gonna stop recording. Boop. Are you sure you want to stop recording to the cloud?